It's time for Restore the Floor, another wonderful podcast discussion talking about our favorite NBA team, the Detroit Pistons. Unfortunately, they are the worst team in the NBA, but we get through the podcast. We find some sunshine every once in a while in a team that's full of some dark clouds, but we love our team. Evan Jenkins, along with me, Stoney. What's up, Ev?
You know, our sunshine that we find is kind of like Ford Field late on a Sunday afternoon, just that little sliver that comes through and you see it on the field.
Yes, indeed.
But, I mean, 21 out of the last 22 they've lost.
Mm-hmm.
A couple players have looked good in the meantime.
Yes. So before we get to, let's start with a little positivity. Okay? I know you don't like to, but what the heck?
I don't even know if I agree that this is positive, but go ahead.
Okay. So last night they lose to Miami 118-105. They get, outscored by 12 in the fourth quarter. But I'm looking at this. I was watching some of the game, not all of it, but Jaden Ivey has played really well lately.
I thought we were going somewhere else. Yes, this is very positive.
Okay, Jaden Ivey has played really well lately, and against Miami, 11 of 15, 4 for 6 from 3, which is important, 30 points, 7 assists. Jalen Duren, 20 points, 14 rebounds. Is it possible, because we did this with John comparing them to some of the other teams, to the Pistons, and you got to take, and we're taking Kate out of the equation, but is the Ivy Duren and duo, first of all, one of the best in town, and is it something, okay, they're not just scoring against bad teams. Miami was trying to win that game, and they actually changed their strategy to blitz Ivy at the end of the game. But is this something we can say, you know what? Ivy's really gotten good the last 6 weeks to 2 months of the season. Duren, I mean, Paul George compared him to Dwight Howard. I mean, can we get
very similar to Dwight.
Can we get something positive out of this?
I think that they're playing well individually, but I don't think you can ever say that they're a great duo when you can't win a basketball game.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you need to win to complete that sentence, right? I mean, but it also shows you the state of teams in Detroit, Michigan right now. They're not very good. So, I mean,
correct.
You say like a young, like Larkin and Sider.
Well, we said like Evanson and Sider for the future.
What happened to Raymond? Now he's chopped liver?
Well, no, not chopped liver, but for Torque and Green.
Yeah, but that was like one game.
No, I'm just talking about.
But that's the point, is that it's like we're comparing it on what we hope would be success in the future.
Hutch and Houston,
and that's
Goff and St. Brown.
And that's probably the closest, but even they didn't make the playoffs. So it's
right. You're right.
And when the biggest moments were in front of them, i.e. Carolina Panthers, they crapped the bed. So listen, I think Jaden Ivey in his last couple games, seeing him score 30 points on 11-15 shooting, that is the promising thing because his shooting is what would hold him back. And I just read a quote after the game where he's talking about he's been working on his arch and the shot arc and everything. So that's good that he is self-aware to know, look, I can improve here, and here, and that's where I am going to improve.
That's what this summer's about for him. I think just, the shot.
And with Duren, I mean, I know I have mentioned it, so this could be a broken record, but stay within 5 feet. You're going to be able to put up numbers like this.
And
in today's NBA, get your rebounds, get offensive boards.
And be a rim protector, which he's been as long as he doesn't get in foul trouble.
I mean, dude, he's a young, solid player. Now, I still don't know what to say about
Wiseman.
There are other bigs, Wiseman, like that after reading, and we'll get into it in a moment, Weaver's letter, it makes even less sense to me, the move for James Wiseman. But
yeah. All right. You brought it up. Troy Weaver. I was stunned to see a letter to the fans, which in a lot of ways I appreciate because usually, management, they don't seem to give a rat's ass about the fans. It's my way or the highway.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Exactly. Because if you
do this,
do the letter, and I'll read the letter.
You got somebody like me that's going to nitpick you.
Right.
And if you don't do it, you're going to have somebody like me that's like, I want to hear from the GM.
Exactly. So here's Troy Weaver. They came out with a letter from him yesterday. And I thought it was very apropos that, Springsteen has a new, his new album is Letter to You. So here's our letter to us from Troy. When I made the decision to join the Pistons in June of 2020, It was great appreciation, understanding for what this organization means to the city, its fans, and all those who bleed red, white, and blue. Okay,
I don't need to hear that.
I know the history. I know the tradition. I know the urgency which our fans want to win and see us move back up the ladder of the NBA's hierarchy. Our focus is aligned with yours, and from the top down, we're committed to delivering on this restoration process for you. Restoration process. Rebuilding a team. So he never wanted to use rebuild when he took over, right? Rebuilding a team does not always follow a linear path. And we experienced that this year with the injury to Cade Cunningham that forced him to miss a majority of the season. While that injury impacted the continuity of our team, it also presented an opportunity for the growth from others. Overall, our players have overwhelmingly embraced the core principle of going to work and competing every night. Really? Not every night. There's some nights they have, obviously. They just don't have a lot of talent. We are in an excellent spot to upgrade our roster this season. We've positioned ourselves for another high draft choice in this year's draft. We have a favorable salary cap position, and we'll continue to talk with teams to evaluate trade opportunities as they present themselves. Make no mistake, we're all disappointed with our record this season, but are confident that we continue to be on the right path to success. We appreciate your patience, trust, and loyal support as we continue this journey together. You deserve the opportunity to celebrate this team once again as a fixture among the NBA's best, the bedrock of the city, its culture. We are partners with you in building greatness together, Troy.
We have put ourselves in a great position financially for free agents, right? Is basically what he's saying.
Not a great crop of free agents this offseason.
Well, that's what I wanted to bring up here, because that would have to mean that they're making a trade, because these are your top free agents going into the summer of 2023. James Harden, no chance.
No.
Kyrie Irving, no chance. Fred VanVleet, absolutely not.
No.
Like, you don't need more guards. Chris Middleton, are you really going to pay that guy $40 million? No. Jeremy Grant, are you bringing him back?
It depends what price, but probably not.
Kristaps Porzingis.
No.
Hey, this one I wouldn't put past him with the amount of centers that they signed.
I know.
Draymond.
That would be fun.
Maybe. But is he worth that money that he's going to get?
Probably not. He would be real, as they say, good in the room, right? To teach some of these guys what it's like to play defense and win basketball games. He's
one that's a possibility.
He's a commodity, but at what price?
Sure.
How old
he makes
Draymond?
$25 million this year.
How old is Draymond?
Draymond Green.
31, 32 at least, right?
Not that much older than him. He's got to be easily. He is 33 years old.
Okay.
So there's that. Kyle Kuzma.
He's an interesting local kid.
Dylan Brooks. I don't know if you want that kind of guy on what you're trying to build here. Another center. Okay, so you're getting far down.
Right.
The names are at the top, but those names are not what you want to mix with this team. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yes, they have tons of cap. What are you going to do with it is my question.
Trade. Let me ask you this crazy question. I have no idea if this is – I just thought about this today. What would it take? Obviously, I would think Cade would be number one. Cade plus what to Dallas for Luka?
You'd have to give up Cade, Ivy, Duren, and a first. I think you'd have to give up everything to get a player like that. I don't even know if a player like that has been moved.
Right, I know.
Maybe like a Paul George type deal.
I was just thinking because obviously the Luka and Kyrie thing.
Not at all. I mean, and it looks bad. And he's talking about how much they miss Jalen Brunson and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, Luka, just be quiet. Like, move on from this season, right? And because they're out of the playoffs right now.
I know.
They're on the outside looking in. You got the Lakers sitting in the seventh seed.
Lakers are playing really, really well right now.
Like, it's going to happen.
Yes, they're going to win it.
Oh, so anyway, more about the letter. Sorry, you got me off track.
That's okay.
Damn Lakers. I don't want to hear about positioning for draft stock. You guys did that because your team was bad. Like, correct. I heard what you said this morning that maybe Bogdanovic's injury and Alec Burks, so that gets you 4 more wins maybe in this span. Like, I don't know what the path is. And I understand he said all the right things to the fans. We want all the same things that you want and so on. But what is the path right now? What is it, Stoney? Because if you think about it, so your pieces right now, you have Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Duren, Stewart, maybe Hayes.
No.
I don't think so, but they can still pick up his option, right? The 5th year.
I think they only keep him if they get, Victor or Miller.
Sure.
Because if you're getting Scoot, you're getting rid of one of your guards.
And it's hard for me to say that we're going to put the Pistons' entire future on this next kid that's coming in.
I know.
And I mean, even if you get Victor Wembanyama, right? How many wins do you think this team gets at the most?
For next year?
35?
Yeah. But if he's really good, I'll take it.
Sure. But it's what we kind of talked about last week. Everybody's going to be gunning for this kid.
Oh, I know.
And if you don't have a strong core around him to build him back up,
he'll just take threes, miss him, and slam dunk. Was that unbelievable?
I don't think I've ever seen that in my life, Tony. Ever. Ever.
I know.
It looked like, even in a video game, I don't think I've done something crazy like that. And you watch it and you're like, oh my God. And it makes you wonder who the hell he's playing against, right?
True.
Is it more me or is it more Amani Bates? You know what I mean? Like legit people out there. And so I'm at such a fork in the road here where I think the Pistons have nice players, but I don't know if they have championship players.
No, we don't know because they don't have enough talent to even find out.
So what do you make about winning in college, high school, stuff like that, transitioning to the NBA? Because if you look at the players that they have, none of them have really won anywhere.
No.
So how do you teach that? How do you instill that? I'm sure they all won at the high school level. Yes. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But if you look at their team currently as they stand, I guess Marvin Bagley did with Duke, right? But
yeah, but he was only there for what, 1 year?
Correct.
Okay. Cunningham, obviously, he played what, one NCAA game, maybe two.
Yeah, with Oklahoma State. And they don't have a long lineage of championships there.
Exactly. Ivy had a decency, but
they choked every time.
And they were better without him.
They were. I mean, Wiseman and Duren.
Did Killian win French championships? I have no idea.
I mean, Livers has a little bit with Michigan. He won a Big Ten. He went to a Final Four, a championship game. But that's my point. Like, how do you ingrain winning into somebody?
Well, that's where the Draymond thing comes in.
Sure. And maybe that is what it is.
He's won at both levels. He didn't win a natty at State, but he went to the Final Four.
Yeah, and then he has 4 NBA rings. So
exactly.
I mean, but and so that's my question. Like, and I don't even know if that's naive to even try to correlate the two, right? Because I mean, it's not like JJ Redick all of a sudden came into the NBA and started winning, or Tyler Hansborough and stuff like that. But I do think that there has to be a piece in your mind that you can look at a loss, put it behind you, and realize that there's better things to come.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm on this team right now, what is that big glowing light at the end of the tunnel? Is it just to get to the end of the season?
Well, right now, as we speak, they have 3 games left. Yeah, get to the end of the season, and for the organization, it's the lottery.
It is.
That's it. And if they get the number 1 pick, they'll, sell season tickets out the yang. It'll place will be
buy jerseys, everything.
It'd be amazing. And hopefully he would pan out, or whoever they get will pan out. Obviously, it would be so great if they were in a playoff hunt. It's like
how far away do you think we are?
Well, if they got Wembanyama, I think they'd be
2 years away.
I think they'd be 2 years away from
competing,
not even being in the play-in game. I think they'd be in the playoffs.
Okay, being in a top 6 seed.
So you're talking about 3-4 years to you're competing for a conference final, maybe. I don't,
I just don't know. And I also don't know how much longer Troy Weaver has with what he's tried to do.
Well, here's the biggest question of the offseason is who's going to coach this team next year.
And reading that letter,
it's weird because he didn't mention him at all.
No, but the way that he was making excuses with, Cade got hurt, players developed, did mention that.
Yeah.
It points, everything makes me believe that he's back.
See, I look at it the other way because they're his players. So the players, I mean, he's right. These players, Isaiah Stewart got better. Ivy got better as the season progressed. I mean,
so if you're a GM,
Hamidou got better before he got hurt.
Don't you look at that and you're like, okay,
yeah, my players are okay. You didn't coach well enough.
Oh, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see.
And the other thing is, don't forget. I don't know if look, he didn't hire Dwayne Casey.
No, he didn't. But I think he has a great respect and admiration for him.
Casey, I love Dwayne Casey. It's just,
I don't know what works because you look at these teams that are like winning. I mean, the Celtics, I feel like you could have placed pretty much anybody with some NBA knowledge in there to run that team. Doc Rivers is an NBA coach since forever.
Right.
By the way, I saw a video of Doc Rivers, like when he used to do TV. What happened to his voice? He used to have like a great voice.
He did the color for ABC when the Pistons won in 04.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it wasn't gruff and everything.
No.
But and I just wonder if a young guy helps out. I don't know. I mean,
if I was hiring a coach, I'd hire the guy, Udoka from Boston, who
sure,
all that stuff checks out. That's my guy.
Listen, he might not be an awesome human, but he's one hell of a basketball coach.
Seems to be.
If you're not going to hire people for,
by the way,
sleeping around on their wives,
speaking of Celtics,
pro sports are going to be.
Speaking of Celtics, you're talking trade. What would they have to give up to get Jaylen Brown? Because I think he's
a lot less than Luka.
Right. And I think he's gone after next year where he becomes a free agent because he doesn't like being in Boston with the racial implications, so to speak.
But yeah, they always get good players. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, they do.
They have that stigma around them, and
it's the damn leprechaun that I've hated since I was a little kid.
It's crazy to me that everybody says how racist the Boston fans are, this, that, and the other thing. But yet they get the best of the best players.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild to me. I want to see what the biggest trades in NBA history are. Like, what really went into those?
Oh, like when how far back do you want to go?
Like, what did they give up for Durant? Now, I'm not saying he is Durant and Jaylen Brown, but like, is it multiple first-round picks?
Oh, when the Nets got him?
I'm just
look what the Suns gave up. They gave up Bridges, who's a terrific player.
I'm trying to get like a current one. So when Russell Westbrook went to Houston in 2019, Oklahoma City got Chris Paul, a 2021 first-round pick, a 2024 first-round pick, 2026 first-round pick, and 2 pick swaps. That's Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook.
Just a couple years ago.
Who's never won anything. Great player, fun to watch. But
let me see. Okay, Kawhi Leonard to Toronto. San Antonio got DeMar DeRozan, Patel at a top 20 protected first-round pick. So it's not even close.
No.
To what?
Well, because he was going to be a free agent the following year, so that's why that wasn't as great value. I mean, look, when these trades usually are made historically, even going back when I was younger, the team who got the best player always won the trade. I go back to when I was a real little kid when Philly traded Wilt to the Lakers. They got Archie Clark, Jerry Chambers, and Darryl Imhoff. I mean, come on, really? When Barkley was traded to Phoenix, they got Jeff Hornacek, I think Tim Perry, and some guy like Andrew Lang. I think I don't know if you looked at it.
Oh my God, you know what Paul George, what Oklahoma City got for him? Gallinari. Shy, pretty damn good player.
Yeah.
Miami's 21 and 23 first-round picks. The Clippers 22, 24, 26 first-round picks, and pick swaps in 23 and 25. Like, I think Oklahoma City might have won that trade.
What about what the Pistons give up for Blake Griffin?
Oh my God!
They gave up a number 1, which turned into Gilgeous-Alexander.
I know,
right?
It's just, listen. I mean. Even if I were to pick up,
so how old's Jaylen Brown? That's
Jaylen Brown's got to be 26. I'm going to guess off the top of my head.
So you'd have to, if you make that trade, he has to agree to a con. I'm not going to.
Well, and he's that max kid, so
right?
He's 26 years old. I don't know, but that is the kind of stuff that they need to do. They need to go get them pieces because
they need a star.
Yes,
it's like anything else.
Cade is going to be a very, very good player in this league. I don't know if he is ever going to be
a superstar.
Correct. Right. And you want him to be, I want him to be more than I love basketball. I love the Pistons. I love all of it. So yes, it's a little disheartening to see him go down, and I just temper your expectations with him coming off of this injury. Is my only thing. Like, can he be a 20 and 10 guy? Yes. But there's quite a few 20 and 10 guys in the NBA nowadays.
Right. On some bad teams like the Detroit Pistons.
Yes. So, I mean, Weaver, thank you for writing that letter. I don't think it was necessary.
No.
But at least you said what the fans are thinking.
Yes, he is. That's exactly what we're thinking. All right. Another edition of Restore the Floor is now done. We'll have another one for you sometime next week. We'll wrap up the regular season, and we'll look forward to the draft.
Can't wait.
Playoffs.
Summer League.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Money.
We'll get all the Boeheims on this year's summer league team.
Oh my God.
Buddy's still chilling at the end of the bench right now.
Yeah.
Let him play right now. What do we got going on?
Are you coaching a Moneyball team this year?
No. Well, we had Jaden Akins, probably one of the best Spartans last year on the 5-Star Zone, which is a podcast that Rico Beer does that you can hear on Odyssey or Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. So I would love to. I mean, that stuff's fun, man. It's like high level AAU.
I went a few years ago
with college kids
when Miles Bridges played.
You think he'll be back in the league this year?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
He looked good in Piston blue.
Maybe that. I mean, you get him at a discount, right?
That's right. All right. Talk to you soon.